So when you have a telehealth appointment scheduled, a video telehealth appointment, you are going to go ahead and navigate to the calendar of today's appointments. And once you're there, you will look for your name in the list here. Today, we are doing the appointments for me under C. Hendel. And you can tell based on this little video camera here that this is a video telehealth appointment. When the video cameras are still white or clear, that means that the patient has not yet joined the appointment. If the video camera turns black, that means that they have joined the call and they are waiting for you. So all of these appointments right now are still white. The patient has not joined. One option, if this is the case, is to send the patient kind of a reminder text that you're ready to see them. You just click on the patient's name. And then you'll see here that there is a status indicator that says that the patient is not yet online. And then there's an option here to send a link to the patient. So if you choose this option, you can select their mobile number on file and then select send via text message. So this sends a message to the patient that you're ready to see them. Then you can go ahead and select down here at the bottom, start check-in and open online visit. So we're going to go ahead and select that. It says the patient's still not online, but you can see here that you now have a video window. Let's go ahead and join the call. And then it just says here, we're waiting on the patient. This is our window here. It looks like our video is not on, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera on by clicking on the camera here. And I believe this is a black screen right now just because our video camera is being used by Zoom for us to record this. Generally, you would see here an image of yourself, the video of yourself. So we're just waiting on the patient. If for any reason you should need to mute your microphone, there's an option to do that here, option to mute. Now you can see that the little camera just turned black. That means our patient has joined. We'll wait here until we can see. Welcome to your visit today. It's good to see you. How have you been doing?
Good. I've been feeling pretty good. I got my first dose of COVID vaccine, so that was excellent. I'm super excited about that.
That's wonderful news. I'm so glad to hear that. So today, I believe that we're going to talk about your blood pressure. Was there anything else that you wanted to cover today besides that, and of course, refilling your medications?
I'm having some trouble with migraines, so if we could touch on that, that would be great also.
Absolutely, yes. So I know that you take hydrochlorothiazide for your blood pressure. Have you been able to take that on a daily basis?
I missed one day when I forgot my meds when I was traveling, but I only missed that one day this month.
Okay, sounds good. Have you been checking your blood pressure?
I have been checking it most days.
Okay.
It was elevated yesterday, but other than that, it's been at the good levels that we've talked about.
Great, that's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Have you checked it today or yesterday? Do you have a recent reading that you could give me?
Yeah, today it was 119/65.
Great, that's wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and just indicate here that you can, based on the patient's report of a blood pressure, go ahead and put that into the encounter in the vitals section. In addition, you can ask the patient if they've checked their weight recently and put that into, if they've checked it, today or yesterday, go ahead and put their self-reported weight into the section for the patient's current weight. Great. So it sounds like your blood pressure is really well controlled. I'm glad to hear that, aside from that one reading that was a little elevated. So we'll just continue with the same medication. I'll order the medication for you today, and it'll be available for you to pick up tomorrow,
Okay,
during
thank
the
you.
hours that the clinic is open. So let's talk about the migraine headaches. Have you had migraines before?
I have had them in the past when I was pregnant, and I'm not sure why they have returned because I'm not pregnant now. And I'm getting them only on one side of my head. And I've heard that headaches can go along with high blood pressure. So I did check my blood pressure when I was having a migraine and it was not high.
Okay, great. So of course, just to sort of expedite this a little bit, like we could certainly do, sort of a full evaluation of, headaches online, and, ask all the appropriate history questions. If there were any labs that we wanted to get, then we could certainly go ahead and order those and then indicate, just as you would for a phone telehealth visit, that the patient needed to be contacted to schedule some lab testing on site, in order to do that. And then you would also, of course, indicate what sort of follow-up you wanted with the patient, whether it's another video telehealth check-in, whether you want to see them on site, so that you can do a physical evaluation for the patient. I just want to show, since I'm screen sharing here, that once you have connected with the video visit, you can now go ahead and open up the patient's chart. So if you wanted to say, look at lab test results while you're talking with the patient, you can open up the patient's chart on the same screen without losing the patient. You can take a look at any lab test results they have. You can even go ahead and open up the visit right here. I'm going to click finish encounter so that we can start documentation, because you can actually go ahead, select go to exam. So now you can see here that you've got the full documentation screen in the background here, and you can go ahead and start documentation if you want to while you've got the patient right here on the phone. This is where you would document the vitals that were reported. So, you could put in your blood pressure that was reported for today. You could go ahead, if the patient has given you a weight, you can put that in as well for the patient. If you want to do a screening, a PHQ-2 screening for the patient, that's here as well. And you can go ahead and do that with the patient verbally over the phone, and document answers to those questions. And then if you want to get the bigger image on the screen of the patient, so if this is a little bit too small, this little box right here allows you to maximize the video. So now you can see that you're really getting more of a full screen. And then, if the patient wants to show you something, a skin issue or something like that, then you have a larger screen to go ahead and see that with the patient. And then if you want to go back to documentation, you hit the same box in the upper right hand corner and it will shrink it back down again to the smaller screen. If the video quality isn't working, then you definitely could go ahead and just let the patient know that you're going to hang up the call and that you will call them on the phone. And then I think the best thing to do would be to notify the coordinator, to let the coordinator know that you switched over to a phone visit.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing is, if for any reason, the patient just doesn't ever join the call, you kind of send them the link and you wait a few minutes and the patient doesn't join the call, then you can go ahead and leave the video telehealth call and just give the patient a call on the phone. The other option is you could leave the video running. So stay in the call, give the patient a call and ask if they received the message and if they could go ahead and join the video call. And if they can, great, they can go ahead and join it right then and you can hang up the telephone. If they say, no, I tried and it didn't work, or I'm not going to be able to do that, then you can go ahead and close the video call and just continue the call on the phone and let the coordinator know that you had to switch over to a phone visit. I'll point out as well that this screen can be moved around. So if you are needing to see they position it in a place where it's not going to obstruct much that's in the medical record, but if for some reason you wanted to move the screen, all you have to do is click on it and you can move it around to different places. But as you can see, it's kind of positioned on purpose in a spot that it's not going to block any of the information that you might need to see. So that's why it's located there.
Okay.
If you need for any reason to mute your microphone, down here are the controls to both mute and then unmute. And then if for any reason you needed to turn off your camera for some reason for a moment, you can turn off the camera and turn it back on again. And then, yeah, this is, there are some other controls here with relation to, what camera is being used and what microphone is being used, but there, you shouldn't need to do much with those. The volume control is on the computer itself. So if the volume is too low, you can use the keyboard functions on the computer to increase the volume. So, my screen here would be just this speaker volume here that I could use to increase the volume. That, this function here can be used if you have an image up on your screen that you want to show to the patient. You can select this option for screen share, and then it will show the image that you have up on your screen to your patient. Okay, so when you're ready, when you finished up the appointment, then all you need to do is, sign off with the patient, let them know that someone will be contacting them to schedule their follow-up appointments. And then you will just go ahead and select the link for leave call.